Hello YouTube, I'm Toby. Now in today's video we're tackling the AMD Athlon II X4 950. Now this is an Athlon for the AM4 platform, and the AM4 motherboard we'll be using is the ASRock AB350 ITX AC, which has support for a wide variety of Athlon and different AM4 processors. The processor itself has 4 cores, 4 threads. It's got a base clock of 3.5 GHz and can boost up to 3.8. Now it is unlocked, but for the purposes of this video we'll not be overclocking the processor. Although the processor has a TDP of just 65 watts, we will be using a quite beefy heatsink for it today, just that way we know we're not running into thermal problems. Now the processor is a 28 nanometer architecture, and it was introduced in, I believe it was July of 2017, so it is a fairly old processor, but it's not that old. It's an early AM4 processor. The code name for the processor is Crystal Ridge, which is based off of the excavator architecture, which then again is based on the bulldozer architecture. The general purpose for the Athlon series of processors is to compete with the Intel Pentium and Celeron processors. And since all these processors are used for low-end computer tasks, really gaming on it isn't a fair test of it, but I'm just curious. Some of the early benchmarks are with the RX 460, but all of the gaming benchmarks are with the GTX 1070. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the benchmarks of the system. Alright, so the tests are completed, and I have to say I was a bit disappointed. The processor is not that great, but then again it seems to be closer related to the FX series of processors than it is to the Ryzen series, so the low performance is to be expected. Furthermore, obviously, I would not recommend this processor for gaming. It is cheap, but it's not worth it in my opinion. This is more like, an average. If you need a cheap desktop or a cheap workstation just to browse the internet and check your mails, sure, this is a viable option, but still then there's a better option in the 200G, since that has integrated graphics, so that would make for an even cheaper system. just for that. Alright, so that was my benchmarking of the AMD Athlon II X4 950. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you very much for watching.